I'm not a Zenin anymore. I took my wife's name. It's Fushiguro now. But sure.
Hey there, today we're covering another JJK video, and it's more of an analysis video this time.
Yes, and in this, we're going to give you irrefutable proof that Toji Fushiguro really did love his son, Megumi. I know we've seen so many comments that he didn't, and lots of videos that make fun of him not remembering Megumi's name, but within this series, all those questions were answered and all that was refuted by comments that Toji made.
Right.
So the first is Megumi's name. And in one of the episodes, they asked, what about what about Megumi?
Yeah.
And who's that? And he says,
yeah, I don't know who that is.
and then he said, oh, I don't remember guys' names much.
So he gave him that name. It was usually reserved for females, but it's like, well, that'll be easy to remember. And then it looked like, okay, he still didn't remember that name of his own son. So I think people took that as, wow, you gave him a name you could probably remember, you still didn't remember. So probably came off as something pretty bad.
Have we met before?
So
yeah, we
now
have.
We know how
Don't worry about it. I'm terrible at remembering guys' names too.
Like, why did you give me that name? And he's upset. And of course, he'll never know because he can't tell him. But it wasn't because he hated him. It wasn't because he thought he was a girl or anything like that. It was a name he couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But Toji did love Megumi. And people point at the scene where he sold him, or the fact that he sold him. But all of that comes to an eclipse in the episode where he's brought back by the witch, who thinks she's going to control him and use him, but she gets a rude awakening.
Yeah, that didn't go as planned.
When he literally resurrects and comes back. But because of the curse she placed on Toji, he's drawn to the strongest curse users.
Right.
So he eliminates a couple people, including, I'm just going to call him Grandpa Zenin, the head of the Zenin clan.
Right.
And then he's drawn to Megumi. So they end up going outside of the domain that's been created by one of the curses. And he gets ready to battle Megumi. But then something happens.
Right. Through about a 3-minute fight scene, it gets to a point where Megumi's about to use one of his higher Shikigami. And Toji stops and asks, what's your name?
What's your name? Fushiguro. You mean your last name is not Zenin? That makes me glad.
And he took himself out.
But before that, what was interesting is, as you said, he was getting ready to use it, and he missed Toji because he moved. But when they got face to face, he recognized Megumi, and it had been 10 or 11 years. But he looks like him. How could he not know it was his son?
Right.
Duh, people. And he backs up, and he just has this blank look in his eyes, and this horrified look on his face, because he knows he cannot control what's happening. He's going to keep on fighting and keep on fighting the strongest until he wipes everyone out.
Right.
Using they're not nunchucks, but one of the cursed.
Yeah, they call it
elements that
something,
look like
yeah.
So yeah, he asked him that, and he takes himself out. But prior to that is an interesting, what they say, the last moments. He sees the wife holding Megumi, and he hears her telling him, take care of our son.
Right.
He sees Megumi young. He remembers telling
Do you have any last words that you would like to say?
About he's going to be sold and take care of him. And he
Not
also remembers
really.
what he did by selling him. And you hear him monologuing and saying, even though it was a hellhole for him, it's got to be a better life for him than the one he could give him.
Right.
Clearly something happened to the mom, and if you read, thinking it still was going to be better than with him, and then he set out to kill Jujutsu sorcerers because he thought they were all evil. Well, he's a Zenin. Think about the crap that happened with them.
Right.
You kind of see why he had that attitude.
Yeah, and you really start thinking about it. Not saying the action was justified of taking out people, but you could start seeing why he was feeling like this. Same thing goes for Gato, not him again, wiping out everybody, but because the crap that happened, why he would want to get rid of them.
Right. And Toji thinking about in his last moments Megumi is nothing but proof that he loved him. Because they always have that in the movies, and the anime, and the stories, the trope that the life flashes before your eyes. He thought of his wife, and he thought of his son.
Right.
And if that's not proof that he loves Megumi, then I don't know what you guys are looking for.
Right.
It was in his last thoughts, and he took himself out so he would not kill him.
Right.
So Toji loves Megumi. And yeah, he didn't make some of the best decisions. He thought he did under the circumstances. To say in his situation what we would have done.
Right.
But it's obviously clear that he loved him. And even after he knew he messed up, prior to that, when he fought Gojo, and Gojo ended up taking him out, not because he wanted to, but because he wouldn't stop until he was going to kill Gojo, he wasn't going to quit.
Right.
But after he knew he was going to be gone,
2 or 3 years from now, my kid will be sold off to the Zenin clan. Do what you will with that.
and he's telling him so he can get him out of the Zenin household because he realized I made a mistake.
Right. And as you're really watching a lot more of these moments, is one thing you did actually bring up earlier of how people have seen this character, and it is possible to have that usually in the first run, maybe even for ones who've never read the manga. So part of it can be towards they're just seeing it for the first time and don't know. Another comparison would be to Endeavor, and they've pretty much put these two on a list of worst dads in anime because it seems to be a heavy trope where they have some pretty bad dads that do most ridiculous bad things to their kids, whether it's severe or just silly or just deadbeat. And even when things are presented to show these characters aren't what they presented to be in the beginning, they do have layers. It usually tends to be ignored because they've already accepted that this character has done so many bad things to the kid, this fictional kid, that they can't be redeemed, they can't see anything good, or they claim, oh, well, that's not what it meant something else, that was something bad. And that might be why Toji, aside from people just looking at him, they only have two versions of Toji in their head, the one they want to be shipped with and the one that's the bad dad, and there's really nothing else. And it's kind of sad that they've graded the character to those two things when he clearly has a lot more layers, but that's the only two things they can associate him with, being a bad dad or someone to ship with.
Well, he wasn't a bad dad. He
Right.
made some wrong choices.
Right.
He did what he thought was right to have him living. He thought was going to be better than he'd give him, but again, once he realized that choice was wrong, he asked Gojo, the kid he hated when he first met him, when he was little, and he came to take out, to rescue him.
Right.
And Gojo did. So, yes, Megumi literally had two dads. One that he really didn't know about, and Gojo.
Right.
And then the last thing on that is you've got some really horrible dads, like Shao Tucker from F.
Right. That's the worst.
That's a bad dad. Someone making bad decisions and trying to correct them is not a bad dad because they acknowledge they screwed up. They have remorse for what they've done. And in Endeavor's case, whom you brought up, he has spent all this time trying to correct it and trying to be a better person and a better dad. No, it doesn't erase what's happened in the past, but it's not easy for many people, especially those that are powerful or in an upper position or something like that, who really don't need to or have to apologize because they can fall back on their position and prestige to say I was wrong and I need to fix this and I'm sorry. And it doesn't happen often.
Right.
These are two characters in which it happens. Toji didn't get a chance to apologize to Megumi himself. He did the next best thing, saved my kid.
Right.
And Gojo did.
Right.
Just think about this. If Gojo thought he was a really crappy dad, and if he thought Megumi wasn't worth saving or shouldn't be saved because of guilt by association with Toji, he wouldn't have done it.
Right.
So I think that, unfortunately for you, I think Toji didn't love Megumi. He absolutely positively loved him. And I'm very happy that we could see these moments within the anime and also reading them in the manga and see that.
Right.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future videos, reviews, theories, and more.
absolutely. As you can tell, we're loving JJK. We're on our 5th watch now. Well, I'm on my 5th watch in Dragon Masculine, but I am still on a JJK binge. If you've got some favorite scenes or you've got some theories or have some questions and maybe what you think we think, let
I
us
think
know.
it'll be pretty interesting
Right.
to hear.
So, I'm Rascal.
And I'm Mama.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
Okay. Leave the rest to me. I might need you to push yourself a little bit, though. So do your best. Trying to get strong. Strong enough to keep up with me.